Here we go. Right, let's see if I'm going to mute the last few people and mute everyone. Oh, there's a flurry of people coming in. Hang on, mute everybody. Okay, I think we're all good. Right, good evening, everyone. Give me a massive wave. Whoa! Who was excited? Month end. Get some Glam Bootcamp. Oh, so exciting, isn't it? So it is the 31st of March. Can you even believe it? So exciting. Now, I know it's month end, and I know there's been a lot of busy people all through the day today. Like, you know, many amounts of messaging. We've still got, what is it, 3.5 hours to midnight. Woohoo! So if you feel like you need to be messaging at the same time or something urgent comes through, I'm not going to be offended if you have a quick peek. If you find that you really think you need to jump off and do something, then absolutely, you'll have to come back and watch it later. But I'm just going to crack on because they've got a lot of exciting stuff. So let me share my screen. Here we go. Here we go. So exciting. Right, let's see if this will work. Now, I just need to work out. We've got 42 on the call. Phone your friends, make sure they're getting on. Okay, so be part of a tsunami of growth. How exciting is that? Now, I can see Suzanne Monday. Can you just give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen? Can you see the slides? Excellent work. Right. Okie dokie. So 47 on the call. It's exciting stuff. Right. This is very exciting. So here we go. So 1 month ago, more or less, I did a call, which was very exciting. And then we started the Glitz and Glam Bootcamp on the 3rd of March with the view of building vibrant, growing businesses to area over a 12-week period. So we are 1 month in. So let's take stock of where we have got to. You'll remember that just before we started the bootcamp call, we went to the VP day. And I'm hoping that you can see this and it's not covered up underneath the pictures, but we went to the VP call and Vicky Beckett and the rest of the UK management team said to us, this cannot be the year of talking, wishing and wanting. This has to be the year you get it done. And we are already seeing this. This year is a banner year for Arbonne. It is incredible. We are seeing between 10 and 25% growth month on month already through this year, which is just insane, particularly given the environmental, the sort of the environment and the economic situation that we're in at the moment. So Arbonne is absolutely rocking and rolling, and our team are at the forefront of that. And for anyone who's listened to the Going for Gold call that Donna Johnson does, we are literally up there, like everyone's talking about this nation. So you should be so proud of what you're doing, because we are just leading the way for the UK and for the world in terms of growth. So that is really exciting. I'm so proud of all of you. Sorry, I'm just having to admit people the whole time. Okay, so let's just see. So a little recap then. We're so proud of every single one of you. So after we did that first original call, we had an incredible response. About 160 people joined this bootcamp to grow to area in 12 weeks. 160 people from around our 2 nations. Can you even imagine? I'm so proud of you. So we had a mixture. We had some people who were already quite strong district managers with a reasonably strong team, some people who were experienced independent consultants but perhaps not with much of a team, and some people who were brand new, or they were only sort of slightly active independent consultants up until that point. Now, we knew quite a tall order to go to area in 3 months for people who were kind of at the newer end or didn't have much of a team at that stage. But there were some people who did brilliantly and who have grown in that really incredibly in that time. You've all been coming on the weekly calls each Sunday, and we challenge you to be absolutely all in. So what we've ended up with after just 1 month is that we've got quite a number of people who are already halfway to area completion. So they're going to, by tonight, have done 5,000 QBs in their success line. So them and the rest of their team, which is brilliant. I'm so proud. And I know some of you have worked like absolute Trojans this last few weeks. So well done. But the best thing for me, honestly, is out of the 160 people, I'm so proud of those of you who have literally started from nowhere, like no team, hardly any client base, and you have grown your business and your confidence so well, and have ended up that by the end of this month, you'll potentially be a district manager in qualification, or if you're a district manager already, your district manager bonusing. I mean, we've done so well, and I want everyone to see here, even if you're not sitting here with 5,000 QVs, I want you to know how proud I am of you. You've done an absolutely brilliant job, and it will all start to pay off now over these next few months, so well done. Then we had a few people who came into the boot camp, but it just wasn't the right time in their business, or in their personal life, or they were just happy really with Arbonne kind of as a hobby still at this stage, and that's absolutely fine. Like, we totally love you if you're someone that just does, you know, likes talking to the odd person, being part of the community. That is amazing, and that's what Arbonne is about. But it's probably not about being in a boot camp if you're in that kind of position, but well done anyway. So now we've only got 55 people. I think you need to be messaging your friends. Okay, so that's where we were at the end of this month. It's so good. Now, what the other VPs and I really felt was that we want every single one of those 160 people, or everyone who wants to be really successful in their business, and we want them to achieve all their goals. So we've made a special decision that we've said that over people who finish the month at over 5,000 QVs are going to carry on in this boot camp, which is amazing, and we want that to be a really high intensity. So you don't want to be in that boot camp if you're not ready for supremely high intensity. Okay, so you don't want to be in that anyway. You want to be in one that's relevant to the level that you're at in your business. Okay, so if you're going to finish this month over 5,000 QVs, brilliant, and we're going to move you on now to going into area qual if you're not already in April. Now, if you have finished at under 5,000 QVs, you've done brilliantly, because, you know, it's incredible and I'm so proud of you. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to run another separate group. I think my head might explode, but I really want it for every one of you, because if we can create like 100 districts in a couple of months' time, that'll be amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a separate group to grow those businesses up to either district manager or district manager bonus if you're already a district, which is really exciting. So we're going to do it on a Sunday still, and we'll do half an hour the district manager group and then half an hour with the areas. So I hope that feels like a good option. I'm really looking forward to it, and I just can't believe how amazing that's going to be for everyone. So tonight we're going to do one combined training, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all do some bits that are a bit more relevant for if you're still building your business to district, or if you're out of district and you're building to a bonus, and then we'll go on to the area bit. If you want to duck out when we get to the area bit because you think I'm kind of done, I'm good with the district bit, totally, that's fine. But for people who are building to area, then the bit about district is really important, because your job as an area manager, and I want you from today to become the area manager that you're going to be in 2 months' time. So, you know, we sort of say you have to be the person you're going to be. And when you're an area manager, you're a leader, and you're going to be helping other people to become district managers. So this first section is really important. And some of the people who go into that district manager bootcamp will be people in your team that will help you to grow to area as well. So just, it's going to be brilliant for everybody. Okay, so first of all, I'm just wondering if it's over under the picture. Let's hope you can see the whole screen. Okay, so just before we jump into a little bit more of the nuts and bolts, I want you to just make sure that as we go through now the next few weeks, that your why is absolutely crystal clear, okay? That you know what your vision is for why you're running your Arbonne business, and that you have shared that with the important people in your life. Because whether you're growing to district or whether you're growing to area, it's quite hard work in the couple of months when you are promoting. Like, when I say it's quite hard work, the 3 times that I've promoted, it is insane in the 2 months that you're promoting. You need to be thinking about Arbonne at every single moment that you're not doing something else you're really committed to doing. And like, I didn't do any housework, and the children occasionally ate potato waffles, and you know, it was a bit of a crazy time. But it's so much fun and so exciting. But you need to know kind of why you're doing it. And as far as you possibly can, try to share that with other people in your life so that they know. And that also you're really clear about why committing time to your Arbonne business is going to be really worth it in these 2 months. Because if your why is not stronger than your reasons why not, you won't do the do that's necessary to get to that point. So, and then you'll be disappointed, because you'll think, well, I wanted to get to this point, but actually I didn't really do enough work to get to that point. So just make sure that after today you go back and you're completely sure that you know why you're doing this, and it's absolutely worth it, okay? So this was what I asked you to do before we started the group. This is before Danny did the very first opening call. So I said to you to come into the Facebook group, Make a diary date for being on the call every Sunday. So we've currently got, let's just have a look, 59 people now. I know it's Mother's Day, but so that's interesting. Oops. So, and then I said for you to write up your goal and stick it up in at least 5 places, and make your vision board and start saying your affirmations about where you're going to get to tell the important people in your life, do the tracker religiously daily, read a chapter of the development book daily, speak to your upline about your current position and understand what you need to do to promote, and talk to your existing team if you have one. So I'm not going to ask you to tell me whether you did those things, but just think to yourself, in this last month, did I do those things? Because that's what Caroline told me being all in was all about. So that's just a little challenge for you. Okay. So we're going to talk district manager bonusing district first of all. How will it feel when you are at the end of May, 31st of May, 9 weeks from today, a district manager or a bonusing district? Because I think that is pretty fantastic and very, very exciting. Because being a district manager means you've got kind of a proper business in Arbonne, which is amazing. Like, and you're starting to grow a little client base and you know what you're doing. So, you know, super, super exciting and fun. And then I want you to know that QVs are just energy. Now, you don't have to be totally bouncy. There are lots of different versions of independent consultants in Arbonne, but you need to have a level of energy and momentum that you create excitement, because you need to be a person of influence. Like, that's how it works in Arbonne. You need to be influencing people around you to help them to want to try the products, to want to buy the products, to help them to look at the business and then want to be part of the business. And you need to be in that good mindset. Now, for the next 2 months, whether you're going to district bonus or area, you are going to be so busy with activity. I don't even want to have a discussion about mindset, really, because I'm a bit like, if you're in the mindset that you're doing this, you're going to be so busy with activity that you won't have time to worry about your mindset, because you're just going to be doing the do in high energy, super enthusiastic, and you're going to be doing affirmations, and it's all going to be amazing, okay? Because we all know that the only limits you have are the limits that you set yourself and that you believe that you've got. I'm thinking somebody might not be there. Can you just double check if you're muted? Otherwise I'll have to go ahead. I don't think I can mute you while I'm in the screen share. Okay, no, we're all good. Right. Okay, so just to recap, so if you're going to go by area, then this is still important, because you want to be just reminding yourself that this is what you're going to be talking to people in your team about. So as we all know, hopefully, if you're going to be district manager by 31st May, we've got 2 months, 9 weeks. So you're going to need to do, if you're not already in qual, you're going to need to do 6,000 QVs over either April only, or April and May, or 7,500. So if you're already in qual this month, you could do it qual this month, and then April and May, and still complete district by the 31st. You need to be realistic about the amount of work that's needed. Now, in Arbonne, you need to go to work a certain amount of time. And one of the biggest reasons why people don't succeed in their Arbonne business is they forget to go to work for enough hours a day. If you had told me you were going to go and work in, I don't know, I've got a girl I'm just speaking to at the moment, she's a student, but she works in Pizza Express. She does 3 days a week, like 10 hours a day or something. Imagine if you did 3 10-hour days on Arbonne, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? So we usually say it's 10 to 15 hours of proper income producing activity, not scrolling Facebook activity, proper income producing activity. And that in real life is an average of 2 to 3 hours a day, like 5 days a week. So it does involve a proper amount of commitment. You need to be marking that time out of your diary. And then you need to make a plan with your upline, and then you need to be focused, and you need in particular to stay consistent. So Arbonne is all about consistent activity. So if you say you're going to do it every day, every couple of days, then that's what you need to do. Now, you can absolutely go to district manager on your own, like there's lots of district managers, it's just them, but it is easier with a small team. So the questions you need to be asking yourself and talking to your upline about is, are you having enough sponsoring conversations so that you can grow that little team? And are you doing the tracker? It's the same old question every single time. Are you doing the tracker? If you haven't got enough activity in your diary, you won't create enough QVs, and therefore you won't make the money, the income that you want to from your Arbonne business. Just admitting a couple of more people. Okay, so when we talk about the tracker, there's a couple of different ways of doing that, and it really depends on sort of how your brain works as to the best way of doing it. So some people use the 40 faces, and that's to make sure you're going to get in front of 40 people properly. It's not like sending them a little message. It's like, have I actually told the story? Have they actually trialed the products? And then also, obviously, on the tracker, we've got the top section, which has got the 2 asks, 2 follow-ups, 2 new names. But the middle bit of the tracker, if anyone says to me, I'm doing the tracker, but the middle section isn't filled in, you are not doing the tracker, because that is the work. So the work that creates the income is 1 group event a week, 2 product exposures a week, 3 business one-to-ones a week. Now, if you decide not to do that combination, you need to do another combination that gets you still in front of about those 40 faces. Okay, so let's say this is you at the moment. So you might have be sitting here now on the 31st of March with a team that either looks like just you, so it might be just this section, just you, and you've done your 2,500 building block, or you might have you and a couple of people who are doing a bit but not loads. So if your team looks like this, you need to think to yourself, what am I going to do between now and April and May that helps to grow me and my team to generate more QVs, to generate that 6,000 QVs, okay? So either you're going to say to yourself, can I be a leader and help those people in my team to achieve more? So that's one question. What can I do to inspire, motivate, support the people in my team to help them to do more? Can I sponsor more people in? And are you personally achieving your 2,500 new and you building block? So when I say new and you, I personally always try to do, that's like how a lot of the Arbonne incentives have worked over the 2 years I've been in Arbonne, is 2,500. Either if you don't sponsor anyone in the month, it's all on you, 2,500 building block. If you sponsor somebody else in the month, then obviously your time is going to be split between supporting them, perhaps doing their launches and doing your own activity. So then it would be 2,500 potentially between you and the new person. Obviously, if you can do more, that's amazing, but that's what I always work towards. And if you're not currently doing 2,500 new and you, then you need to think about, is there more productive PQV activity that I need to be doing? So am I doing more group events? Am I doing more online events? Am I seeing more people, more gold bags, whatever it may be? Okay, so things I want you to challenge yourself on is ensure you have enough proper income generating activity in the diary. So you're going to go through your diary after today or on tomorrow morning when you wake up after month end, and you're going to mark out for 2 months as far as you possibly can with a big highlighter pen all the times you're going to do Arbonne, and make sure it looks like you've got enough slots. And then you're going to think, what am I going to do? So am I going to do face-to-face groups to see new people? Am I going to do online things to see new clients? Am I going to have one-to-one product conversations to meet new people? Am I going to have business conversations to meet new prospects? Can I get reorders by doing something that creates the reorder? So either like an open house or writing to people or whatever it may be. So these things are going to be a mixture of like group presentations, online parties, social media promotion activities, stalls. You might do a presentation at a gym, go and see some physio, do lunch presentations in a business. You might do an open house at yours, you might do gold bags, but you need to make sure that you think you've got enough proper income generating activity in the diary so that you're going to get like your PQV side and you're going to be speaking to enough prospects, okay? So then I've done a couple of kind of examples of what might your team look like by the time we get to May. So this isn't saying now, it's saying like we've got through April and then through May. So obviously our business is based around growing a client base, but if you can't just grow a client, just your own client base, unless you're going to open your shop 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, because which most people aren't. So then you're going to grow a team of people. Obviously, I know this is all obvious stuff, hopefully that people know, but sometimes it helps just to have another person say it to you. So if by May, the end of May, you were in a position where, for example, you had a team that looked like this, you'd done, say, even at like 1,500. So in this example here, no one is doing, actually not even doing building block in this example. So if you'd found 3 people, one of them who did a little bit, 500, and then a couple of people who wanted to grow a proper business, and you'd also help them to understand how to sponsor. So then you'd end up with you, 3 people direct to you, and then they would have sponsored a couple of other people, and then they would have sponsored somebody else. And in this example here, no one, I don't think in my example here, is doing more than about 1,000 QVs. So the whole business works around a lot of people doing a fairly small amount. And if you had a team that looked like that in May, so by the end of May, each of those people had done about 1,000 QVs, between 500 and 1,000, you'd have 7,500 in your success line in May. Or on this side, I don't know if you can see if it's underneath the pictures, that's you and then 3 people only that you've sponsored. And if you found 3 people who were fairly motivated to want to build a business, and you had, say, one did 2,500, one did 1,500, one did 1,000, similarly, you'd be at 7,500 in May. And obviously then you'd have a really good, strong bonusing district, and you'd be potentially on your way to area from there. So I just want you to make sure that you've got in your mind, what will your team look like? And then you can, even if you've got no one in those gaps at the moment, start drawing out that team and thinking that when I'm doing my asks, that's what I'm looking to fill, is to fill those gaps in my team. Okay, letting in some more people. Okay, so just to recap, so my suggestion would be, if you want to be in the bootcamp, you want to grow, you're prepared to commit the effort, and we're going to come into this district manager. So this, I'm talking here to people who are perhaps still independent consultants. So you're either in qual or you're not yet in qual at the moment. Obviously, we can have people in here who want to go district manager to bonus, in which case you'll be like just a bit ahead of the game on this. So we're going to be aiming ideally to have everyone a really, really good, strong qualification in April. So you can totally do 3,000 to 6,000 in your success line in April. You could do districts in 1 month if you wanted, but you're going to be aiming to sponsor business builders. So when we're thinking about our activity, it's PQV activity and it's business building team activity. And we're going to do that as quickly as we can by having multiple activity, multiple exposures. We're going to go fast through those exposures. So if you haven't read GoPro in the last about 3 months, 2 months, I would say you want to be getting on and reading GoPro. I'll put a PDF version into the group if you haven't got a hard copy, but you want to be rereading GoPro, because GoPro tells you everything you need to know about how to build this business, and it's so, so good, and it's a really quick read. So you want to be reading GoPro as quick as you can, think about what does that mean for how I'm going to look for people to become business builders. You're going to be doing your own PQB activity. Now, to give you examples of how you can make this business simple, okay? So if anyone has not listened to the Ashley Stone No Excuses Going for Goals call, it's, again, I'll put the link into the group, but it is an incredible call. So Ashley Stone did district manager in 9 days because she was told, find 20 people who want to do the nutrition with you. And so she went out, she said, I'm in the military, and when I get given an order in the military, I just do it. I just do whatever it takes until it gets done. So she, in this example here, I've done 10 ASVPs, 10 nutrition ASVPs would do 3,000 QVs. So let's say we want to keep our business really simple, then an option of the way to do that would be, if you had one for you, because obviously we all want to be doing the 30 days. You can't be like having other people do the 30 days if we're not doing the 30 days. So one nutrition pack for you, and then you sponsor 2 business builders in some point in April. And so then they're obviously going to both need an ASVP, and then they're going to find at least one other friend, one other person that they think could have an ASVP of some kind, let's say nutrition or an RE9 ASVP. And then that's only 5 others, 5 more ASVPs in the whole month that you need to find. Between you and the 2 people that you've sponsored. Now that seems quite straightforward in a way, doesn't it? If we actually just did really, really focused activity. So ASVPs are the way to build your business if you possibly can really quickly. Or the other options is your 2 business builders come on board, they want to build a business. And so we explain to them that buying the business pack is the way to go, because then they've got stuff for gold bags and things like that. Or as a minimum, they get 2 ASVPs. So most business builders are going to want 1 nutrition ASVP and 1 RE9 ASVP. So that's going to be like between 1,000 and 1,500 QVs each. You're going to help each of them, because that's our role, is to help coach, launch, support them. They're going to do a couple of launches each, maybe. That's 2,000 QVs. You're going to do 2,500 PQV, including any reorders from your existing clients, your group events, and you'll be doing 7,500. Like, you'll be doing districts in 1 month. So I would say, if you're a district manager on this call, or you want to be a district manager, absolutely go for it. Stay focused on really doing the right activity. So look through what you've got to do at the moment. Look at what your current team, if you've got one, looks like. Think what you want your team to look like, and then map out. So if you want to do 3,000 PVs in your success line or whatever, then think, right, how am I going to do that? How am I going to break down what combination of activity am I going to do, and how much time have I got to do it? And make sure that the activity you think needs to do, so if you just list down, again, I'll put another link in here about the way that I list out the activity. So I literally list out, right, I'm going to do 4 group events, and I work on averages. So I'll say, right, so let's say if I do 4 group events, that'll be 500 QVs per event. So then I know that if I've got 4 group events in the diary, that's 2,000 QVs coming in. If I know if I've got 10 people trialing products, I work on 50 QVs per person from a trial. So that means that maybe 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 of the people that do a trial buy something, and therefore that ends up, so if I've got 10 people trialing, I know it's going to be, say, 500 to 1,000 QVs that will come in from that. So it's just on averages, and then it takes away all the emotion, because I honestly don't care which of the 10 buy it. Who cares? It doesn't matter, as long as I know that on average 3 or 4 out of the 10 will become a preferred client, and then I'm really happy when they do, and I'm not surprised when the others don't buy, which it takes away all the emotion and the upset that sometimes we get when we get really, really, really attached to a particular decision that a particular client makes, and then that can be like it's all emotional. So, and then just go for it, because I am so excited. Literally, we're going to have so many new district managers when we get to training in April and May. I mean, as it is, we're speaking to the other VPs about how we're going to deal with all these district managers that we're having to recognise at region training, because there's so many. I'm like, what a position to be in! What a great option! So we're going to have like 100 new district managers, or 100 new district managers bonusing in the next 2 weeks, next 2 months, and I know that you can all do that. These are my favourite 2 months in the whole of Arbonne. There's like nothing much that distracts our clients in these 2 months. No one's paying for their holidays yet. They've all paid for Christmas already. The sun's shining. Everyone seems happy. They're all suddenly realising that they need to have their summer body, so they want to be doing the nutrition. It is a great, great 2 months. And obviously we've got GTC coming up, which just tops it all off. So I know that if you want to go for it, you can 100% do it. And I'm so proud of you and really, really excited for all of you. Okay, so that was my bit on district managers, really exciting. So if you want to stay on the call, that's totally fine. If you want to go off and message a few more people and you think like that's really important, then I won't be offended. So only a little bit, but it's fine. So what I want to do now is I want to talk to our area managers. So if you're a district on this and you want to stay on, then that's brilliant, because then you're going to be growing to area 2. So fantastic. So how will it feel when by the end of May you are an area manager? Okay, do you remember what we talked about that call a few weeks ago? What does that mean? It means that you're going to be doing over $10,000 a month of product sales through you and your team, and you're going to be helping hundreds of people to live better lives. Okay, you're going to be doing part-time hours around your other job, but you will be doing consistently those 10 to 15 hours. You are going to feel like it's busy when you're an area manager, especially when you're a new area manager, and if you brought on a team quite quickly. So when I was an area manager brand new, and I was about 10 wide, and I can tell you being 10 wide feels like it's insane, because I have this little analogy about one of those circus tricks where you're spinning plates on a pole, and when everybody's new in your team and you're literally going around spinning the plates, and if you don't speak to every one of the people in your team every few days, like the plates start to wobble off and everyone has a panic, and so you have to go around and kind of make sure that everyone is happy and that you're looking after, and that they're all kind of all jolly and stuff. So it's going to feel busy. You're going to be doing loads of launches in this initial period, but it's going to be totally worth it, because you're going to be earning hopefully around £1,000 a month. Yay! What is not to like about that? And you're going to be changing the lives of somewhere between probably 4 and let's say 15 people, which is amazing. And you start to see the real residual income, and it starts to become a willable asset. You go to the white party, all of this sort of thing. And for me, area was where it all started to make sense. It was so much fun. It's so nice when you've got a team. It's just the best thing ever, and you're getting paid like a decent amount. So it'll feel absolutely incredible. You'll be so proud. You'll have helped a lot of people. You'll totally have worked out how to do the business. You'll know how to help other people, and you'll have like got over yourself and all your issues and everything, and you'll come out of the closet. And you'll be then on the road to region, because you just do more of the same then once you're an area. You'll be walking the stage at AAC in September. It is the place to be. So I know that there are a few of you who are literally messaging me. My phone's beeping at the moment, so I've got a few of my team who are like just going for their last few QVs this evening to make sure that they're in the area bootcamp. So if you have not got your 5,000, like what's the time now? We are 1 minute to 9. So just crack on, because there's still a good couple of hours before people all bail out and stop answering. So just go, like be messaging frenziedly at the same time. Okay, so it is going to be hardcore though. So if you're going to finish this month on 5,000, you've got 9 weeks to do 24,000 QVs. So it is going to be hardcore. I'm not going to joke around about this. Like, this is where you get the love punch bit, because it is going to be hard work, okay? And you're going to be feeding your child potato waffles and whatever other bad things that happen when you're not really like fully engaged. Your life is, as Nicola Will said, going to be totally out of balance for this period of time. So you need to be prepared, because it's going to be really exciting, but you need to feel like it's really hard work too. Okay, so let's get serious about what's needed to become an area manager. Okay, so you need 24,000 QVs in 2 months. Okay, if you were doing area over 3 months, obviously it would be 10, 10, 10. But we're going to try and do it before the end of May. So I think there's only 1 or 2 of you who are in area manager qual. Other than that, you're going to be going into qual next month and finishing in May. I have to say, It is better to do it over 2 months because it's exhausting to do it over 3. So let's just go the 2 months. So you can, or if you've got a promoted out district, you probably know this already, but you're going to be maxed out at a maximum of 10,000 QVs you can take from that leg of your business. So you need to create the remainder from the other leg. So if you're going to do 24,000, you can take a maximum of 10 from your promoted out district manager. You need to do 14,000 out of your other leg. So I'm suggesting that we aim for 12,000 in April, because why aim for 10? Because then if you miss it slightly, you'll be at 9, and then you'll be really annoyed. So you want to aim for 12. Now, for most of us, that is a big step up from 5,000. And if it doesn't make you feel a little bit queasy, like if you're not stretching yourself probably. So if you feel a little bit queasy, you're like, brilliant, I'm like fully rocking the going for area manager qual, because that's really exciting. So it's totally achievable if you work with us and you focus on the right areas. Now, I know Fiona became an area manager on PQV alone, but normally you can't become an area manager just on your own PQV. So you have to become a different person, and you have to view your business in a different way when you go from district to area, okay? I know I've had people in my team who sort of said, oh, but I'm not really an area because I didn't do that. The people in my team did that. And I'm like, no, that's what happens. That's how going to area works. Like, that is the business. So you need to become a leader and help others in your team to achieve their goals. Okay, so you absolutely still have your own responsibility to your own clients and doing your own PQV, but you need to be leading your team. You need to be becoming a district manager making machine to help them go to district manager. You're going to be inspirational. You're going to be sharing vision. You're going to be breathing belief into your team. You're going to be making grown-up decisions about whether you set incentives for your team, things like that. That's for you to do and decide what you think your team would respond to. You're going to be in so much activity, it feels like your head is going to explode. Okay, that is good. Affirmations, etc., all good, totally on with those. Like, you need to be doing affirmations, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be deluding you going, oh yeah, if you like pray to the universe, like the QVs all flow in. That isn't life. Like, you've got to be doing the work as well. So we want to be doing the goal card, we want to be doing the affirmations, but you need to be doing the work too. Okay, so you need a team. So I want you to think, like, when you go away from here today or in the morning tomorrow, what does your current team look like, and how are you going to grow the team that you need? So if on the left here, this is how you've got to 5,000 today. Oh, you know, it's an example of how you might have got to 5,000. So there's you, let's say you've done 1,500, you've got a district manager who's got a couple of people in their team, they've both done a little bit, and then you've got one other IC on this side perhaps, and they might have one other who've done kind of a medium amount, like 500 or 1,000, something like that. So you're going to be maxed out at 10,000 from this leg, and you need growth on this side. So you need to help this team this side to grow, but then you also need more people on this side so that you're going to get to area, because what you don't want to do is have not the right number of people. Still going in and out. Okay, so, and then on the right hand side, I don't know if you can see this, so you might have got to 5,000 with you doing a load of PQV. So let's say you might have done 3,500 PQV, and you might have a couple of ICs who've done a bit, like a 1,500, 1,000, something like that. That's fine. It doesn't matter where we start from, but it's about where we're going to go from here in this next 2 months. So questions to think about is, can I help my existing team to grow and develop themselves, and, you know, perhaps double their QVs to achieve their own goals? And let's have another conversation with them about what their goals are. And also, can I sponsor in new? So annoying. And then, are you personally doing at least your 2,500 new building block and teaching your team to do the same? Because I promise you that as a leader in this business, whatever you do duplicates immediately in your team. It is extraordinary how the duplication happens. So if you're doing a lot of PQV, your team will be doing a lot of PQV. If you're not doing much PQV, they'll not be doing much PQV. If you're not sponsoring, they're not sponsoring. And so you have to challenge yourself. I have to challenge myself, because I know that when I've been in times when I've not been doing one or the other, it duplicates straight away all through my team. So just challenge yourself, and you're going to have to get so far outside your comfort zone, it is not going to be real, okay? You're going to be doing things, all these people that go, oh, I can't book a group event, or I can't do a whatever, I can't do whatever. I'm not actually really that interested, because there are people in this team who can do all of those things. So we just need to look at those people and say, what are they doing? And how can we do what they do? Because it obviously is possible. It's just, what do we need to do? It's like a mindset thing about what we can and can't do. Okay, so if you're going to build a team, you need to think, what's my team going to look like? So if by the end of April, we're going to be going for 12,000 QVs by the end of April, okay? So this is an example that I've done, and you need to think, like, what could my team look like by the end of April? So this is people you might have helped to grow, or new people you've brought into your team that by the end of it would finish the month in this kind of position. So let's say your information activity, so you're working like a demon, so you're doing more than 2,500. Let's say you're doing 3,500, but in the meantime, you're also doing sponsoring activities, so you're double working like a demon, okay? And then let's say you end up with someone who's the district manager, maybe 2,500 with a couple of ICs. You've got someone who goes into district manager qual. You've got a couple of other ICs that are like knocking around 1,000. And then you've got maybe another person who goes into DM qual with 2.5 and another IC who's doing about 500. Does that make sense? So a team that looked a bit like that would deliver you 12,000 QBs, okay? Or this is, oopsie, this is a really simple version of a team that would deliver 2,500 QBs, which might be you and 4 people who you've taught to do building block, 2,500 QBs, and they might just be doing that all themselves without having sponsored anybody else. So there are different ways that you can run an Arbonne business. Everyone does it in a different way. Some people have districts, some people don't. Ashley Strong says in her video or her audio at the moment that she went to district with just ICs. Then she went to area with no districts, so she had just all independent consultants. And then when she went to region, she had no areas, she just had districts. So the point of that being that she's a bit like, it's not about relying on anybody else, it's like doing the do myself in order to get to where I want to be. So you can totally do this, but you might have to just bring in a lot more people if you haven't got anyone that's duplicating below you. Okay, now don't freak out looking at this now, you can look at the slides later. But all I've put on here is, again, I just want you to think about this because you're going to be growing a proper business that turns over $10,000 of products a month. So it's not like a little sort of thing that you can just laugh about and see what happens with anymore. Like, you've got to be a bit more intentional. So ideally in Arbonne, we always want to have at least 4 legs in our business, at least 4. Wider is better, but a minimum of 4. And then you're going to teach your team to duplicate by sponsoring. Like, that is the whole entire key to this whole business, as we know, if you read GoPro, all those other books. So what you're going to ideally want is by, so this would be, say, by the end of May, if you're in a position of similar to this, you would be like in happy days. So this team that I've done here has 18,000 QVs being generated, but there's no one person in the team that does more than 1,500, I think, the way that I've structured this. So there's you've got about, how many have I got there? 6 people direct to you, of whom 2 aren't really building, they're just doing 500 QVs, they're having like their little IC hobby, that's brilliant. And then 4 of them who are wanting to build a business. And then you've taught them to come on board and straight away to start sponsoring, ideally like at their launches, and you've taught them how to fill their diary with income producing activity, and then they're teaching the people in their teams to do that. So your absolute dream here is that you end up with a 3-generation deep team, because then you're getting the duplication through your team, and that's where you can get exponential growth. Because obviously once you've got a certain number of people like this, if they all sponsor in one person, you can go from 10 to 20, 20 to 30 like relatively easily. So this is just an idea. Look at it later, because you're on month end now, your brain's going to be frazzled anyway. But all I've done here is I've kind of done like an example of where you could have 3 people, 4 people who, if you sponsor them in, you create an incredible vision, you find people who want to change their life, and then you help them. And this, I think, is exactly what Danny has helped Zinzi to do. So Zinzi has brought in people, she's got them excited about this incredible business, which is really, really amazing. And then she's helped at their launches to then translate that vision to then people that those people know. And so that's why she's got, I think by the end of that first month, she had 12 people in her success line, which pretty much is what this looks like. So then that's, she's introduced someone, someone's introduced somebody else, and so on. So then you've got no one necessarily in that first month doing loads and loads of activity. Like, they're coming on board, they're buying their initial packs for themselves, an RE9 set, nutrition pack, and they're having their first launch. And then the business starts to roll and roll and roll. So you would be literally, if you'd sponsor all these people by May, or the people that you'd introduced to sponsor all these people, you would be doing so many launches that you will like be working every night of the week, but you will be so happy. It'll be incredible. I imagine you'll be like halfway to region by May. So that's very exciting. So I'm just going to stop sharing. Right then, whose head has exploded now? Okay, so I can see you all again now. Let's see if I can just put myself on here. So I hope that made any sense at all. So yeah, area manager, just concentrate on DM bonus. Yeah, that's completely true. So don't leave, she'll be cross, it says. I'm just looking in the I'm just looking in the chat slightly. Okay, so we have got still 3 hours. Is it about just less than 3 hours to month end? So if you're not already at 5,000, I would say absolutely just run, keep messaging people. Like we never stop until 1 minute to midnight in this business. It's so important. You've got to run through tape. You know, if you were doing a run, a sprint or something, you don't want to stop, like let up as you see the finishing line approach. You always run through the line. So full pelt running. You are running until literally the clock strikes like the 1 minute to midnight. Never ever stop. Now, if anyone wants to know my story of completing region, so about 11 o'clock when I was completing region, we literally thought it wasn't happening. Danny went to bed. Everyone like went to bed in my team, and then at about 11:30 or 11:15, various people from the team started phoning me up and messaging me and coming out of parties and launches, and we had to go and get everybody up out of bed. Like, who was it? Becca Clark and Claire Gratian were in bed. Danny was dead to the world. She didn't even see it. And it was craziness. And we literally finished region like the day before month end, but we had completely given up, I suppose. And we were like, oh, it'll happen tomorrow now. Never stop, because there will be someone who will come back to you at like 11:30 tonight and go, oh, I've just come in from something or other, and yeah, I would like an RE9 set or something like that. So keep going until the very end of today. Okay, never hold, like always push through all of your orders. And then tomorrow morning, we are having none of this first of the month. I'm having a little like put my feet up now. We are like running so fast from tomorrow. I'm going to be so excited. You're going to be having more fizz sticks than is allowed on the side of the box for the next 9 weeks, because we're going to be in so much activity, okay? And so I will put into the group the various links that I've spoken about. So if you want to go through this slide deck, then I've put that in there already. I would go on, I'll put the link for the Ashley Strong No Excuses call, which is amazing, in there. Just listen to that on repeat. And just get really, really excited, and make sure your goal is really clear. Stick it up on the wall, start your affirmations. I want your affirmations though to be about where you're going to be by the end of April, not by the end of May. Okay, so make it really specific to the end of April. So if you know you're going to be a district manager in qualification with 3,000 QVs by the 30th of April, then make that what your affirmation is. 25 times a day. So 5 sets of 5. If any of you were on the Jerry Rosenthal call, that he was like, if you want to promote and you're not doing your affirmations, it's just lazy. And I'm like, okay, right, I should probably do that then. So get intentional about what you're doing. Plan out your week, get your highlighter pen, make sure you know what activity you're going to do, and then speak to your upline and make sure that what you're going to put in your diary is going to match what your goal is. And then work with your upline about how you're going to try to build that team. So you need to be aiming for DM bonus. We're going to have 100 DM bonuses, or whatever crazy number we're going to have. It's going to be so exciting. So next week there'll be 2 calls. So there'll be 8 till 8:30 for people in the district manager / district manager bonus call. If your upline will speak to you over the next 24 hours something about which of the 2 boot camps you want to be in. If you don't want to be in either of them, that's totally fine. Like, we'll just click you out and you can kind of come back in when you're ready to like another boot camp in the future. Otherwise, you're going to be in one or the other. And then just absolutely go for it. April and May are the best 2 months, and I'm so proud. Everyone has worked so hard. So I think we need to give ourselves a massive clap, because I want to see lots of clapping. Woo! Are you super happy about where you are now? Okay, I don't want to hear anything other than happy, because you should be so proud of where you are. It does not matter where you have finished. It doesn't matter if you finished at 1,500 QVs. If you would otherwise have done 500, you have done a brilliant thing. And also, we all know that it takes time sometimes to get things going. So if you've been working really, really hard for the last 2 weeks, but you haven't yet seen the QVs, you're going to be seeing them tomorrow, and you'll be like, whoa, look at me, QVs on the dashboard on the 2nd of the month. I'm loving that. So it's all good, and just keep the momentum, and it will all come good. I'm seeing Becky Hoskins is smiling at me. Yay! Okay, everything is good. And if you want to unmute, you can unmute. Otherwise, jump off and go and crack on with month end.